Hi, and welcome to Biteable Live. My name is Jared, and thank you for joining us again this week. This week, we are joined by Ken, our local resident social media Facebook guru. Welcome, Ken.
Thank you, Jared. I really appreciate you guys having me. I'm super excited to be on this.
Yeah, and true to our word, we're mixing up our times so that people in different time zones can be there.
Nice.
Ken is not in Hobart. He's not in Australia. Ken, where are you based?
I'm out in Canada. I'm right now in Vancouver, BC. Beautiful sunny weather still, which is good. Yeah, but completely different time zones. I'm really glad we could make this happen.
That's fantastic. So yeah, as you can see, everyone, Biteable, global company all around the world. So early morning for me, afternoon for Ken, could be any time for you, but thank you for joining us. So exciting show for you today. Today, we're really going to explore Facebook and Facebook marketing and how you can really get the most out of that with your video advertising, marketing, right, whatever you need to do. So Ken and I are going to chat all about that. We're going to keep it fairly high level today. We're not going to get into the nitty gritty. We will bring Ken back and we will get into the details. But today we're really going to focus on, I guess, the branding, the marketing, the big business decisions and what that means. So I guess to kick things off, Ken, it kind of makes sense to talk about the Facebook mysterious algorithm. I mean, we know that Facebook has a bunch of algorithms and in many ways, but when it comes to your video posts and things like Facebook Live, we know that the results are good. We know that we're going the right direction, but do you have any tips or insights you can share as to maybe why video is working so well on Facebook at the moment?
Yeah, for sure. And it is definitely Facebook's mysterious algorithm, but from what we've seen in the past and from the inception of Facebook, what we started seeing is it started off with a lot of static posts, a lot of just images. And as we started to see Facebook evolve over and over the years, we started seeing video pop up more and more. And eventually they started introducing autoplay for video with it muted. And this really changed, I think, the game for Facebook and for marketing in general, especially on Facebook. And because these videos are autoplaying, because they're running on mute, it gives advertisers a chance to really capture people right when they're scrolling through their feed and just scrolling through a bunch of images. The videos are thumb stopping. And so Facebook started noticing this and started noticing that people were engaging more and more on their app and spending more time on their app because they're watching videos. And it spurred conversation, it spurred discussions. And so as time went on, Facebook started to, I guess, cater and wanted to see more videos. So the more videos that these marketers are running, they're getting priority in the algorithm because their content creates discussion, it creates time on
and that's the thing, isn't it? That's Facebook's business objective. It's time on site. So
exactly.
Yeah, if our, as a marketer, as a business person, as anything, if our interests are aligned with Facebook's, then we're probably going to succeed, right?
Exactly. So if we're keeping their users on their site and they're watching our videos, it's a win-win for both us and Facebook.
Fantastic. And I guess that's, Facebook Live is an evolution of that, right? The idea is keep people engaged, keep, the amount of time you spend on Facebook probably correlates to more Facebook dollars or,
exactly,
more revenue to Facebook. So then we all know Facebook's a business, so we need to use it.
Exactly. And the thing is, too, is that Facebook Live creates a lot of discussions. People are always commenting and asking questions. And so the more that Facebook sees this, they're really catering towards this type of content.
Yeah, I'll just do a quick shout out to AJ and Dan who have said hello in the chat. So, hey guys, thanks for joining us.
Hey AJ, hey Dan.
And I'll use that as a cue just to run through my standard housekeeping. So we're live. So if you've got a question around Facebook marketing, around video marketing on Facebook for Ken, drop it into the comments on the side. We will try to tackle it throughout the show or at the end. If you've got a video that you'd like to be featured on Biteable in the Wild, then by all means drop that in the comments and we'll take a look and incorporate that as best we can. The other thing too, look, it is live. So, shoot us an emoticon, a thumbs up, a love heart. Just tell us what city you're in, what country you're in, because it's fun for us to find out all the different places around the world that you're from. If you're not watching the show live, don't stress about that. You can still comment, you can still engage. You'll see the comments come through as we do the show. So that's the basic. And of course, remember, there's a little subscribe up in the corner, the little bell in the top right-hand corner of your screen. If you're on desktop, click that and Facebook will tell you when we're live. And like we said, we mix it up a little bit. So maybe you're on when we're on, maybe you're not. But hopefully, you're online watching. We're doing another live show. You can come and join us again. So anyway, that's my housekeeping. I've got that done. So we'll jump back into talking about Facebook and marketing. And so for us, I think what we're going to be doing is talking a lot about business and marketing objectives. So what you're trying to achieve. And this is, it's surprising, but I find, especially when I'm talking to businesses, people launch into Facebook videos without actually thinking about why they're doing it. Like, we know it's hot, so you go, I need to be on Facebook, but why do I need to do it? So I think it's important that we actually set some objectives for the business and then correlate that back to what Facebook gives us. So I don't know, Ken, can you run us through a bit how we can align our business objectives, our campaign objectives, to the types of campaigns on Facebook?
100%. I'd love to do that. And so the three business objectives that I would kind of look at is awareness, consideration, and obviously conversion at that point. So I'm just going to share my screen real quick and show you guys just exactly how Facebook does that and how they split off those three conversion objectives. So if you guys can see my screen here.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. So right now, there's awareness, consideration, and conversion.
So you're in the ads manager at the moment, right?
Yes, I'm in the ads manager right now. I'm creating a new campaign, and this is how Facebook lays it out for someone who's just starting off. And the thing that we start to see here is that they've broken out awareness, consideration, and conversion. But the tricky part is that a lot of the times, especially for video, we want to focus on video views and post engagement. We want people to see the videos. We want them to see it longer than 3 seconds. And so this is really where we're living in too, and not in the awareness part, where brand awareness and reach is really for, the bigger agencies, the ones who really want to target like all of the United States or whatever it is. But really for most advertisers, they want people to actually complete the video. They want people to actually view the video. And so video views and post engagement are really, really powerful for awareness. And so that's where the Facebook business objectives can actually get a little confusing, because they put awareness as these only two, where most of the awareness campaigns that we're focused on is actually in consideration. I'm just going to stop my screen share real quick.
Yeah. So that's so in a way, that's when we spoke about at the start about aligning our interests to Facebook. These objectives is a way for us to say to Facebook, hey, this is what we want to achieve and this is what you want to achieve. So as much as the outcomes are measured and they kind of set that up, it really is giving that Facebook algorithm a tip to say, hey, if you want to make the most amount of money, this is the objective I want. Let's go forward with that.
Exactly. And that's, I think, one of the biggest marks that get missed, especially in video marketing, is that a lot of the times most people just see it as a means to get awareness or a means for people to watch a video and then forget about it. A lot of people don't actually consider video to be in the consideration and the conversion stage, where actually it can be a really, really powerful tool in it. The key difference is that you really do have to make different videos for each of the stages. They cater to different people. The awareness ones are obviously a lot more branding focused, a little bit longer, and you want to get people into the story and the why of your platform. For something like a consideration or a conversion video, that's going to be a little bit shorter. It's going to tackle the features and the benefits of the product or whatever you're selling, and it's going to really end with a CTA, where branding doesn't.
Yeah, and I think the length of the video is a really important part there, because if you're trying to get someone's attention, if they've not seen your brand before, trying to get them to watch a 3-minute video probably ain't going to happen. Like, I mean, look, if the intro to the video is amazing, then yeah, you might hook them. But to be realistic here, we probably want to be doing like the 5-second, 10-second ads just to get that awareness.
Exactly.
Whereas, yeah, with our ad objectives, if our ad objective of the video is conversion, and we're talking to people that maybe have already engaged with us, yeah, we might be able to get away with a 30 or a 60-second video. I say get away, but you know what I mean?
You'll get stronger performance at that point. Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic. So let's say with my ad objective, and I say as a business, I'm relatively new. I might be a startup company, and my ad objective might be awareness, because no one knows that I've built a new concept for taxis, which you can book from your mobile app, and this is pre-Uber. So I'm Uber and I've got to get awareness. Like, no one knows that Uber exists. So if I've got a video awareness objective and I'm trying to tell people that there's a new way to taxi, what's the best way to do that? What's the campaign objectives in Facebook that I want to be using there, Ken?
So in terms of campaign objective, I would really use the video view objective there, trying to get these people to watch at least 3 seconds of a video. And really, when you're creating that video, those 3 seconds really, really matter the most. And so you really want to catch them and hook them in. Even if you have a 15, 20-second long video, those 3 seconds are really what's going to hook them in to watch the rest of it. So that's the way that I would do it. And I would definitely do it a little bit more broader than your specific target niche. Let Facebook's algorithm really find these people who are super engaged and coming in at a really cheap cost. So
that's interesting. So you're saying if you start, even if you've got a good mind's eye of who your target customer is, who your target persona is, you're saying broaden that out a little bit and let Facebook actually tell you and find the people on Facebook who are going to react.
Exactly. And one of the tricky parts about Facebook is that in their algorithm, they actually, when you get too tight, when your audience is a little too small and too tight, what happens is that their CPMs start to increase quite a bit. And so
CPMs being
cost per thousand. So on Facebook, even if you're optimizing towards video views, even if it says like you're getting $20 per click or $5 per click, what you're actually being charged is your CPM. So you're actually getting charged per 1,000 people looking at your ad.
That's interesting. So you need to think about how you're being charged as well, because you might be paying per impression, but your objective could be something more like 10-second views or clicks.
Exactly. And so it's pretty interesting that Facebook can really find these cohorts within your audience that are really like the ones that are really on the ball, the ones that really want to watch your videos, and the ones that are bringing you the cheapest clicks. So you do have to play nice with Facebook's algorithm as well, because they can, because they can get you the cheaper views.
Fantastic. Is there an example of a good awareness video that you can throw us to?
Yeah, I do have a good one. Let me share my screen real quick.
Great. And while you do that and you get that queued up, I'll just, Graham, good evening. We've also got AJ, who said hello to before. He's let us know that it's midnight in Stockholm. Nice effort, AJ, for tuning in at midnight. Dedication. If you've got any questions, you can go top of the line for listening to us at midnight, or maybe you're busy building your videos. So I appreciate that. And we've got a couple of the comments that I'll pick up and throw in. So, but we'll get back your screen sharing nicely now. So we'll have a look at this video.
That's awesome. So this is by Squarespace. They've done a lot of great awareness videos for their website builders. And so this is one of them. Super simple. It starts off, it's really well produced, I will say that. And it kicks off the few of their benefits, and it shows you just how easy it is to start Squarespace and build a website. And so this is the video that I really like, because even if you're just seeing like 5-10 seconds of it, you're already kind of captured because of how well it's produced. And they really put it in mind that, these people are coming from all different shapes and sizes. So I'm just going to stop my screen share real quick. And yeah, so they do it really well, because they've made tons of videos like that, targeting different industries and different verticals. So someone who, if they're targeting people who are in the clothing industry, they have a video that's like that, but with clothing orientation. So like things like that really like hit home with the audience, and then they most likely target broad, and then let their audience, the clothing audience, decide, or the bowling audience decide that they really like this, and then they'll feed Facebook's algorithm to find more of them.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I also noted that they didn't put a huge amount of text on that screen, right? They basically 1 and 2 words. This is the point of why this scene's here. It looks beautiful, but it's just a couple of words on the screen. So I don't know this, and maybe you don't know, or anyone knows this yet, but we all know with images that Facebook's got like their 20% rule if you put too much there. Does the same thing apply for videos?
So it does, but only in one sense, and that's when you upload to Facebook, you create an ad, you actually create a cover image, and so that's the image that loads pre the image loading. So this is something that users see if their site is slow or whatever, if their internet's slow, they'll see that before the video plays. Now that cover image, if that has a lot of text on it, Facebook will still ding you. So it's nice to, most of the time I'd throw it in the end, throw it in the beginning, but having a nice cover image that really resonates with people, so that if their internet's not working, whatever it is, it still looks nice for them to see. That way you're not wasting any CPMs or anything like that.
Fantastic. Well, that's awesome. So I think we've got a good start on awareness. We could obviously go on for ages, but it seems logical just to jump down into like the consideration phase, which you mentioned before. And I mean, if we're building consideration campaigns, what kind of videos are going to work best? Like, you know, we're talking about getting their attention and the awareness, but if I've got a consideration video, what do I want to be considering in that video? What do I want to make sure I put in there? Length, that kind of stuff.
Right. And I think this is really the trickiest part. I think in this middle section here is the trickiest part for video marketers, is because you don't want to overwhelm these people. These people are people that maybe they haven't heard of your brand before, or maybe they have, but you're still trying to get them to come onto your site, read a blog post, or just learn more about your product itself. And so this is where a lot of marketers tend to create really short videos, 5 to 10 seconds. And these ones are the ones that are like really quickly covering off the features and the benefits. And it's almost like a static image, but it has some motion in it. And I think this is a lot of the trick that a lot of Facebook advertisers do, is that when they're spinning up a lot of different creatives and they're trying to figure out which one works, which one has a high CTR, they don't want to spend too much time on really high value production like the one that we just saw in Squarespace. What they do want to do is really spin up something that has a bit of motion on it, you know, something that can catch the eye, but really just delivering the key benefits of their product, and almost acting like a static ad. So I do have a really good example.
Sorry, I'm just going to jump in, Ken. So Graham Hoffman's asked, what do you mean by a consideration video? So I guess to be clear, we're talking here, and maybe we should have explained this better at the start, but we're imagining an entire audience of people out there, Graham, and you know, we've got a business that sort of no one knows about, right? So we're reaching an audience. So at the first level, at the highest level of this funnel, if you imagine, the first thing we need to do is get that awareness out there, which is, you know, you need to know that a brand exists. So this is just kind of, hey, we're a brand, we're out there, we do something. Consideration is the next stage down that funnel, where you're saying, okay, you know we exist. Now we want you to think about it. So in that Uber example, it's, okay, there's a thing called Uber, it's a brand, and it does this. And now we want to kind of get you into that consideration phase where you think, next time I'm going to the airport, maybe I book an Uber. So that's the phase we're in at the moment. And then, you know, down the end, you're looking for an action. You're actually saying to someone, hey, make a purchase and do something. So consideration is very broad, but it's that middle stage of the funnel there. So sorry, I thought I'd just throw that one in there, because maybe we went and we skipped over that bit.
No worries, and thanks for clarifying. I definitely hope that I hope that we get the message clear, especially with the consideration stage. Sorry, I forgot to go over it, but for Facebook objectives, the ones that we're really focusing on there is traffic to the website or landing page views. Most of the time, most advertisers really do focus on landing page view, because you do get that verification that they fully loaded the site and they're actually reading whatever it is you're sending them to. And then some other consideration stages that some people use on Facebook is things like lead generation or messages. So it really depends on the objective for the business, but all of these kind of flow into the consideration stage.
Fantastic. And Paul asks on the chat as well, do we make different videos for different audiences, or are you still keeping this generic at this stage?
Right. So if you have the time, if you have the team to do it, yes, please do. Test it. Test the different, if you don't exactly know which audiences are more receptive to what, get 4 different videos, test it against each of the audiences, and run the ones that work the best. If you have the time to do that, it's definitely, it'll definitely help your performance.
Fantastic. Do we have an example of a good awareness video that you could share with us?
Yeah, let me share my screen real quick.
Fantastic. I was going to say hi to Frank, who's shot us a little hi. I'll just kind of have a look and see who else has got someone from Ann Arbor, MI. Is that Michigan? This is where I'm ignorant to these things. So the abbreviations, I don't know. I think it's Michigan in the US. So Dan, 6 p.m. for you. That's good. We've got the right time zone for you at least.
Nice. So here's an example. It's by Shopify. So this is them really just getting into the consideration stage of whenever someone's looking for a site that they want to make for e-commerce, they want to be top of mind for that. And so this is them targeting a Instagram audience or a Snapchat audience, and really just like really quick, just showing what you can do and how easy it is. They've definitely catered this video to obviously a makeup audience, right? And so that's really quick, really simple, ends with the CTA. And this way, not a lot of people are going to sign up and create a store right away off mobile. And sorry, I'm just going to stop my screen share. not a lot of people, they're targeting people on Instagram and Snapchat, and not everyone's just going to get up on their phone and create a store right away. But what they want to do is be top of mind, so that when someone is in front of a desktop, in front of a laptop, and they're thinking, okay, I want to finally start my makeup store, Shopify is top of mind.
Yeah, so they're really pushing the features and benefits a lot more. So there's a less wow and about what they do. They're really drilling down that next stage. They're saying, hey, these are the features of our product and these are the benefits to you. So you're sort of going, oh, okay, I get why you exist and this is what we want to achieve.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Exactly. So, so going back to the funnel, and I'm glad, Graham, we're able to answer that for you. So going back to that funnel now, we're into that. We've already broken into 3 segments here, right? You can get really granular with this, but the next phase for us is those conversions. And there's different names for these things. Like, you can talk about action, you can talk about conversion. There's lots of different words you can use, but we're talking the buying end, right? So that's the end. And the reason why we're using conversions now is because this is the objectives that the Facebook campaign manager set. So it makes it easy for you to correlate these different stages of the funnel with the campaign groups or types, in Facebook. So how can we make videos work at this stage in the funnel, Ken?
Right. So videos here is actually a really interesting objective. And so when it comes to videos and we're running on a conversion objective, where I find they are the most successful is actually in remarketing audiences. So these are people who have already engaged with your website, or they've already engaged with your Facebook page, whatever it is. But these people, they would like a reminder of why they should choose you, or why they should choose your website or your product. And so what I find the most effective in these types of video campaigns are kind of like social proof or case studies, something to really just like, if they've been apprehensive at this point to convert, you really need to kind of hit a home run and say like, hey, like these people, like here's a review or here's a case study of someone who was super successful running Shopify, or loved this product so much, and they may be a celebrity or they may have some clout to them. So things like that you can kind of lean on and say, hey, like these people are doing it, you should too. I found that type of video works extremely well.
That's kind of like the proof by social audience, right? So
exactly.
The more people that are doing it, the more people sort of go, hey, if everyone's doing this, then I've noticed as well, like if you ever get some press, some coverage in a newspaper, that kind of like that ad scene on TV, little icons and things, that makes a difference. Like people, validation.
Yes.
Just another question. So just at this stage of the funnel, obviously everyone's different, but I mean, do we want to be linking to a website? Do we want to be keeping it inside the social channel? I'm guessing it's one of those ones where it depends, right? But
yes,
that question.
I would definitely think that it does depend, but in most cases, especially when you're driving towards conversion, you do want to link out to a website. You do want them to go to a really, really specified landing page. In most cases, especially when you're driving towards conversion, you want them to go to a landing page that's short, sweet, doesn't inundate them with too much links out or with too many actions. You want them to take one action only, and that's to convert. So really having a landing page that speaks to that, that speaks to the video that you're promoting too, so that it feels like a seamless interaction. It feels like they're reading and viewing one thing, and when they click onto the website, the messaging still stays and it's still concurrent with what they're reading. That's what creates the best experiences for customers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I was going to say too, that question was from Graham as well. So just for everyone who's sitting there, you can see, like, if you throw a question in, I'm probably going to pick it up and answer. So no better time than the present to throw questions in. One thing that strikes me though about that question, actually, it kind of loops back to what we said before, which is let's align our interests with Facebook's. So I would guess where it's a line ball decision, if you're kind of going, I need to say I'm a B2B business, right? I'm trying to generate inbound inquiries. If I've got a choice between throwing someone to a Facebook, like to my website, or keeping it to a Facebook lead form, my guess is Facebook's going to prefer people to stay in Facebook, right?
Yes, I've ran Facebook lead forms before versus sending to a landing page and them signing up there. And Facebook lead forms, if you can get them to the qualified audience, they absolutely crush it. And so, yes, if you can stay in-app, if you can do things like use Canvas ads to create mini landing pages within Facebook, and they never have to leave the app, and just small things like that. E-commerce or people who sell online, Facebook has a store that you can have within Facebook. And if you sell your products through there rather than your website, and you're fine with that, you absolutely get some preference from Facebook.
Cool. So, right, the number one rule you take away from this in video marketing is align your objectives with Facebook objectives, and you're probably going to win. Okay, awesome. And Graham, you don't say sorry for the questions. We love the questions. That's the whole.
We love the questions.
If you weren't asking questions, we weren't answering, we could have pre-recorded this. We didn't, which is why we can't swear and we can't say things, and we're going to make mistakes. I would say that there was a question previously around the video. So off topic, it was around the software we use in doing all this. We won't answer it now because if you go back to the first episode that we did with Rena, who I will shout out because I always forget to say thank you to Rena, the producer who is behind the scenes. You can't see her, but you can see her in the first episode. And Rena answers that question about the technology we're using to do the Facebook Live. So that's a reason to go back and watch the first show. And also reacquaint yourself to Rena, who continues to produce these behind the scenes awesomely. So I won't forget to say thank you this week, Rena, and I've said it 4 times now, so she'll be super embarrassed behind the scenes. So anyway, long story short, love the questions. Thanks a lot. So on that conversion side, is there an example we've got there that you can show us, Ken, that you think is a good example of a video? Or
yeah, I do. It's by AppSumo, and what I'm assuming is that this is a remarketing video. You can't see that from just like looking through Facebook's UI, but I'm just going to share my screen real quick. So here's AppSumo, and all it is, and this one thing I do want to note is that the ones that we ran before, or the ones that I did show before, a lot of them were really high production value ones. It seemed like they took some time with it. This one seems like something that anyone can do using any video editor. So definitely take a look at this one. This is probably them remarketing to people who have been on their site, and it's really just social proof, and it's really engaging. Just seeing people talking about Sumo World and getting that kind of like proof, like, yeah, you should use it, and you're getting these apps for a discount. So I really enjoyed this. It's really super simple, and I wanted to grab an example that anyone could use if they were running short on time. They don't have a lot of assets.
It's fantastic. It's a great video. You can see though there's more text in this one, so they've gone a bit heavier with the text.
Yes.
So I guess
I'm sorry. I'm just going to stop my screen share.
Yeah, awesome. That's fantastic.
There's more text, and the reason why they can kind of get away with it too is because, from what I'm assuming is a retargeting ad. A lot of the time, like, people have already recognized their brand and are quite aware with what they do. And if they're already engaged to a certain point, we can assume that they'd be more interested in watching the video.
Fantastic. All right. Well, so that's the 3 phases of consideration. That's not consideration, it's 3 different campaign types or objective types we're looking at in Facebook, and hopefully that funnel visualization, and thanks to Graham for his support in helping us get that message across, helps you think about what that is in your objectives. So what we might do is, I've got a couple more questions to throw at Ken on the spot and see if we can catch him out. So we'll kind of do a couple of minutes of Q&A now, and then we'll go and have a look at our Biteable in the wild section or area, where we look at a Biteable video. So Ken, one question is just around video and audiences, and how we can use Facebook audiences with video. So I guess you could talk 2 bits. One is about using audiences with video, and the other one is using video to make audiences. So I don't know which one it is. Maybe you can answer both.
Yes. So the first one is relatively, what we would do there is, like, you're creating a bunch of different audiences on Facebook. Either you're uploading your customer list.
So I should just say, so an audience we're talking about here is a defined group of people in Facebook. So Facebook doesn't tell you who's in an audience. It's just a collection of people, 1,000 or more. It could be 1 million people, but it's a definition of a group of people that you can or will market towards in Facebook. Is that a good definition? Or maybe it's not. But
no, yeah. That's a great definition. And the different types of audiences, one is a customer list. This is something that you upload yourself. Is all of your customers, and what Facebook allows a lot of people to do is create lookalike audiences off that. So Facebook will grab your customer list, find the matching Facebook profiles, and then find people who kind of look like those people. to try and get the best conversion for you. So that's one type of audience. Another audience is just using their interest targeting to target people who may be interested in makeup, who may be interested in basketball, whatever their Facebook algorithm kind of buckets these people into different cohorts. You kind of use that to kind of guide your advertising campaigns if you don't have a big enough customer list to kick off a lookalike audience. So you can definitely create different videos for that, especially if you have interest targeting. You're targeting really specific things like basketball or makeup or clothing or a specific type of clothing. Then you can start creating different videos specific to that audience.
And that I was going to say, and then creating audiences from a video is probably an area I've found to be super powerful. How do you do that, or does that just happen?
So you definitely have to you have to create that. It'll be in the audience tab inside Facebook Business Manager. And what you do there is after you've run quite a couple of video ads or even organic video, what you can do on Facebook side is when you go to create a new audience, it'll ask you what type of audience you want to use, a customer list, offline conversions, anything like that. And at the bottom there's an engagement option. And when you click engagement, what you can do is look at the people who have watched a certain amount of videos that you put up. So if you posted up a video and they've watched 50 seconds of it, or maybe 50% of it, 75% of it, or completed it even, you can target all these different people. And this actually creates a really great way to create a remarketing list by running awareness videos, letting them run, and then gaining a good amount of audience that's watching for over 50% is a good benchmark for me. If someone's watching over 50% of the video, I know that they're relatively interested and they're more aware of our brand and are more trusting of our brand if they've engaged with the video that long. And so what you can do after that is using that audience that was made up of all the people who watched over 50% of your videos, you can create a remarketing campaign that helps hit them back and let you remind them of your product and hopefully convert and get some sales.
I think this audience is a great way to move people down that funnel, right? So they've seen something and then you can say, hey, if you've seen this, let's move you to the next stage. So we've just probably got time for one more question. So just videos on Instagram to Facebook. Should we have different videos? Is there anything you need to consider? I mean, there is a bunch of things to consider, but should we produce different videos for Instagram and Facebook, or can we use the same video across both platforms?
So Instagram is pretty specific in terms of duration. So yes, you can, but there's a few nuances to that. One is that your video has to be relatively short, probably below 15 seconds. And the second is that you're assuming that the aspect ratios are 1-to-1. So you want a square video. You can test with vertical video as well. I've seen some success with that. But what you really want to do is you want to make sure that your video is 1-to-1, so it works on Facebook and Instagram. And then you have something like Instagram stories and Facebook stories, which require the vertical video, and you definitely can run it there as well. What I will say though is if you really, really want to maximize performance, the Facebook audience and the Instagram audience is a little different. And so if you can cater towards an Instagram audience, which tends to be a little bit younger, which tends to really like more engaging videos, videos with a story, and videos that are really like high production, like they really love video because of the nature of Instagram and the high, I guess, production of most videos and images that people post on their feed. You really do want to come in with a really high production video. And that's if you're optimizing to most. You can still run an Instagram with motion stills and things like that. But if you are able to make the distinction between Facebook and Instagram, that's what I would do.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thanks so much for that, Ken. That's really good. So we won't take any more questions now. But if you do want to throw questions into the chat, look, we'll monitor it. I'd say someone will monitor it. Maybe Ken will jump on, but we'll try to answer those questions for you. Just a reminder that if you're making comments, sometimes depending on your privacy settings in Facebook, you might have to actually share those questions publicly. We do get a few questions that kind of come direct just to Biteable. And look, we could answer those, but I think in the spirit of it, it's kind of like if you want a question answered, you make sure you tick the option that shares with everyone on the chat. And that way everyone can see the questions. So if I'm digging questions out, sometimes you won't be able to see the questions is because they're kind of hidden. So just, if you've asked questions and they don't get picked up, it might be because I try to focus on the public feed just so that everyone can see the other questions coming through. So that's what we're going to cover, which is frustrating because I want to get into the details. Like
Yes.
maybe in a future episode, we'll get you back and we'll really dig into audiences because that seems to be a hot topic. Maybe we can do something specific on Instagram. If you've got whole ideas for shows for Ken, you want him to dig into Instagram, you want him to do audiences, you want him to do whatever, we you know, I'm going to make Ken come back and do another show for us.
I'd love to come back too.
So last thing we have is Biteable in the Wild. So this is where we pick somebody's Biteable video that they've used out in the wild. So, you know, we're not pulling secret things. But yeah, so Ken, have you found a Biteable video that you'd like to share with us in the wild?
Yeah, and it's interesting because I found this one and I really like the layout of it. It looks like they didn't finish it because they didn't put the logo or anything on it, but I do like it because it's a little thumb stopping. It's really simple and something that someone could easily edit. So I'm just going to share my screen real quick.
Great. Thanks, Joe, for the shout out. We appreciate you giving us the love hearts. It makes us feel good.
Thanks, Joe. So it's this gardening service ad right here. So they didn't finish doing it, but I do really like the layout of it. Anyone in a service, just running a service campaign, can do something really simple like that. But I just want to run it real quick.
Yeah.
Super simple. Like, this is great for consideration. This is great for just like getting someone to convert and getting through. It's almost like a digital business card. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. But that's really great for a consideration stage or remarketing to an audience because it's super short, it's super simple. It's a bit of text, but because of how unique the presentation execution is, people tend to read it. And so I really like that one, especially it's really simple for someone who's in a service organization or sorry, a service company. And so, yeah, I really like that one.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing that, Ken. So, so again, if you want your video featured, you know, drop it in the links. If it's appropriate for the episode and the topic, we'll include it. If not, we might just, you know, send it some social love from Biteable either way. We love supporting all the people who make Biteable videos. So the more you share it and the more you give us feedback, the more it helps. And as you saw from last week, you know, you've got people like Kaylee who do pay attention, you know, when they're deciding what stacks and what to put in there, the feedback makes a real difference. So that's it for another show from us. Ken, you've been awesome. Absolutely loved having you on. The problem with doing a good episode like this and giving us great information is you're almost guaranteed you've lined yourself up for another show in the future.
No worries. I'd love to come back.
But yeah, that's it from us. So thank you for joining us. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. You know, click on our events and get those reminders because we love having you along. Graham, you've been an absolute legend today with all the comments. I hope you come back next time we're in the US time zone, or maybe you can be like the people in Stockholm who get up at midnight to watch us. But we appreciate everyone who tuned in, plus everybody who's watching this after the show. Thanks so much. It's been fantastic. Ken, thank you for joining us. And we'll see everyone next week on the same bat channel. Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.